It's the battle of the content creators. You have Kyle Koszuta, aka ThatPickleballGuy, on the near left side. You have his partner Tanner Pickleball on the right side. He's off the screen, about to return. And then on the far side, you have myself and my buddy BMac, who's our resident 6.3 duper. It might be 20% reliability, but he's got 6.3 aura for sure. This is at the APP Dallas Open. And right off the bat, you can see that I forget that Tanner's lefty. His chicken wing's on his left side, his left hip, and I aim for his right hip. He's able to hit a pretty strong backhand counter and win the first point, get the side out. So we're going to be doing some casual commentary. We're going to let most of the match just play, but I will give commentary as you see fit. Like for example here, just a few early match jitters. Like it's obviously a big match, and yeah, I hit way too hard and it goes out. And to give a little more context, this is the first round match of the 9th place draw. So both teams have already lost in the main draw of the pro men's doubles division, and we're going to try and make a better day out of a bad one. I was proud of that one. It's just always important, like if you're willing to dodge, it's just showing your opponent that they have to be a little more careful when they go for drives or counters or things like that, of that nature. But here, I mean, Kyle makes up for that missed drive with a huge earnie. He sees BMac's eyes are looking down, his shoulders are turned towards the sideline, so it's really hard for him not to go down the line. Kyle sees that, and he jumps right on it, hits the earnie winner. BMac does a good job getting the ball down, and in general, as a rule of thumb, if you're the first team to get a ball down in a hands battle, then you're more likely to win it than not, but of course you still have to finish the job. And there we have another earnie. I mean, first time BMac set him up, I should have learned from him, but nope, I'm doing the same thing. I'm stepping backwards and showing that my body is oriented towards the sideline. Kyle jumps all over that, and again, just hits another winner. But hey, fool my partner once, and fool me once, shame on you. But if you fool either of us twice, shame on me. Yeah, and remember what I said about getting the ball down? This is just like, honestly, an insane counter from Kyle. I got that counter off of Tanner's speed up way down, but Kyle somehow hit a perfect counter that looked like it was going in and also just barely over the net. All right, nice little speed up from BMac. Feels like we needed that. We just got a huge earnie in our face and then an insane counter from Kyle. Need something to start slowing them down. Nice little 1-2 punch there. Just a reminder, if you are going to attack the ball with us and speed it up, never expect it to be a winner. Always be ready for that counter. Yeah, and that's a tough side out. I mean, anytime where you don't get to the kitchen line even just once in a side out, that's really tough because it's just a huge momentum breaker. Great shot by Kyle to end the point, but honestly, this is just a great point all around. Looking at it again, I mean, we're moving dinks around. This is a high quality point, and then BMac hits the chicken wing. He hits Kyle's right hip, which is supposed to be the hardest spot to defend, but Kyle does a great job getting his backhand all the way over there, and then obviously eventually winning the point. Great spot by BMac again. I mean, he loves his off-the-bounce speed-ups, and definitely recently he's been getting better and better at that. So definitely something I'm happy that he's pulling the trigger on. And of course I jinx it. But honestly, it's hard when if you have a really good off the bounce speed up and you get an opportunity out of the air, then you back up and you try and go for the speed up anyway. It's obviously nitpicking a little bit here. Okay, we had to watch this point back because this is a huge teaching point for myself and hopefully it helps you as well. But I get Kyle to get off of the kitchen line, that's great. But I'm applying zero pressure if I don't move forward. And you see I'm still stuck towards the baseline, and it makes my next shot it's exponentially harder, and Tanner finishes the point right there. So I need to make sure that I'm a little bit more binary with my decision making. Am I hitting a good enough third shot, fifth shot, seventh shot, whatever it is? And am I hitting a good enough ball that I can move forward? If not, then I gotta stay back. If I am, I gotta be 2 extra steps closer to the kitchen line. Some good hands by Tanner and Kyle there. Here we take a timeout, and I do think we actually talked about in transition trying to apply a little bit more pressure just to help us get to the net. But here we go, back to it. Let's see what happens. Great timeout. Anytime you win the point after a timeout, it's always a little satisfying. Just it was a good way of breaking momentum, but of course then we go and return the favor with a missed third. It's all good though. And like I said, we're trying to apply a little more pressure in transition, and we actually draw that one error off of Kyle there. BMAC doing BMAC things, driving huge serves. And just another thing to keep in mind, I forgot to mention this towards the beginning, but it is pretty windy. I mean, there's wow, great speed up by Tanner. I think he caught the back line with that. But it is pretty windy, so just in general, like, I know we're, that was not very cautious of me right there, but in general with dinks and speed ups, we're probably being a little bit overcautious just because the wind is swirling, and it's gusting of like 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we're trying to be a little bit safe, but in general, obviously if you see a ball, you go. Ooh, I am not a fan of my footwork there. Looked like I had concrete shoes on, but gotta make sure the feet are active and the legs are low and getting work done. Same thing, and then with that reset there. Finally, we get that chicken wing spot, and Kyle misses it. It does feel like so far like their speed ups have been more effective than ours. That's just something that I've noticed, like, in watching this back. Not necessarily something we noticed during the game. And there's another transition error for myself, so definitely seems to be a common theme of what I need to work on next. And there you have actual good pressure. So it's not that I can't transition well, it's just that I need to be better about choosing when to apply pressure. When I'm not applying pressure, I need to be more solid with my legs and go from there. With that, Kyle and Tanner get to 8 first, and we switch sides. It is 1 game to 15, so time's running out. B-Mac and I need to get something going. Pretty hefty counter in transition from Kyle. I mean, that's just a good ball with good pressure. I mean, that's kind of where I think that they've clearly been winning the transition game. I know I say that as I hit a good fourth there, but just overall looking at the data, they were clearly getting to the kitchen line more often than us. And that obviously makes a pretty big difference in the scoreboard. I like to think that's an uncharacteristic miss from me, but, you know, Kyle is kind of the Ernie god over there, so he's probably trying to play a little bit closer to the net than normal. Long grindy point, but I'll be honest, I got lucky on that counter. But as soon as I saw that the ball was getting down, I noticed that Kyle's taking a step off the kitchen line. I knew I needed to get my butt right back up to the kitchen line and look for the opportunity to close. Little screwball serve from Kyle. I mean, I'm not totally convinced on the necessity of those, but you know, he's tossing it in, a little changeup. Great speed up and very compact backswings from BMAC, so it's gonna help him out in that hands battle there. I'm gonna be honest, that's a very impressive, very hard counter punch from his chicken wing spot. I mean, obviously, BMAC was a little bit off of the line, so Kyle probably had a little bit more time to deal with it, but that is still very, very difficult to punch that hard from across your body with the backhand.
Hey, it's all good.
So, as you might be able to tell there, Tanner's probably understandably annoyed at me pumping it up when the ball was definitely out. But, hey, for a split second, I really thought I had it.
Yeah!
For what it's worth, I don't think this is standard technique, and I'm not sure I would recommend it to anyone, but sometimes you just get low and hope for the best. Pretty happy with that backhand speed up. I mean, usually the backhand flick, you can go line, body in front of you, through the middle, or all the way across court. So definitely good to keep mixing up spots. And unless it's that spot. I was clearly below the net, hitting it up, and Tanner's hitting it down. It's not a good situation. Cheeky little dodge from BMAC. Tanner definitely full sending for the body bag there.
Yeah, no way. No way it was out.
Alright, so a little bit of drama, but let me just let you know, Kyle basically overruled Tanner after the ref confirmed he didn't see the shot. So honestly, huge integrity props to Kyle because the ref already said that he wasn't going to overrule that call. So props to Kyle for actually overruling it. I apologize for my theatrics here, but I mean, honestly, it was definitely in. So, yeah, I don't think that Tanner was intentionally trying to cheat. I just think that BMAC hit two kind of insane serves in a row. And, yeah, but stuff happens. And, I mean, Tanner follows it up with a pretty good speed up there. And there goes all of our momentum. It's not a very good balance from my end, obviously. Looking for the speed up, realizing it's not there, and then giving the pop-up dink. Being able to take that cancel step and go back is very, very important. I mean, you see all four of us doing it quite a bit. All throughout every single kitchen rally, we're all looking to reach in. But once we realize we can't reach in, then we're taking that step back so we can be more balanced.
Attention all fans of this year's APP Dallas Open. If you're looking for some great pickleball, we have a gold medal match about to take place on court number 20. That is our champions mixed doubles gold medal match featuring Marcelo Jardine and Lisa Alapez playing against Sherry Porter and Jose Jurisi. That is our featured gold medal match on court number 20.
I know I was just saying like we should be taking that step back if we can't take it out of the air, but that's if we can't take it out of the air. Like there were a lot of balls there that I think both BMAC and I both could have taken out of the air and even potentially sped up, but instead we're taking a timeout to try and slow them down. I mean, just a really, really good point all around. I mean, there were a couple speed ups, a couple resets, and then Tanner's speed up was the most effective one. So, too good by then. Kudos to both Tanner and Kyle for winning this match. I mean, clearly they played better than us, and I actually did some charting, so just want to go through that really quickly. The first stat I looked at is the third shot success rate. So basically, depending on who hits the third shot, how successful are you getting to the kitchen line, and are you winning points in transition or losing them? Typically, BMAC and I get more free points in transition because he has such a good serve and drive, and that's where it goes back to the theme of I don't think I did a good job with my positioning to help put pressure when he's hitting these good drives and serves. Next, we're looking at speed ups, and clear as day, basically Kyle was playing the steady Eddie role here, barring a couple being athletic and hitting a couple earnies, but Tanner was way, way more effective with the speed ups than both BMAC and I. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of video, and I can do more of these commentaries.